Today I'll be reading From an Idea to Google by Loie Bundy Sickle, chapters 9 and 10. Chapter 9, Thinking Outside the Search Box. Larry, Sergey, and Eric made a powerful team. Eric handled the business side of Google, while Larry and Sergey continued to improve Google's search engine and focus on future projects. Before long, the three leaders felt it was time to take the company public. Google went public on August 19, 2004 at $85 per share and raised $1.9 billion. Going public, there's a different section about that in here, so I'll pause and jump to that. What does going public mean? Every new company starts off as a private company or a privately held company. That means the founders who started the business own the entire company and run it the way they want. The founders make all the key decisions for the company. These decisions are private information and not shared with the public. Some founders may want to switch from being a private company to being a public company or a publicly held company. When a company goes public, it can raise a lot of money by selling off shares of stock or bits of ownership to anyone who's willing to pay the price. That means the public will now own part of the company. One way to think about going public is to think of a company as a building. Each brick of the building is like a share of stock. When a company is private, the founders and private investors own all the bricks of the building, or the entire company. When a company goes public, the founders and private investors sell off a specific number of bricks, or shares of stock, for money. So other people now have a chance to own some of the company. The people who buy and own these shares are called shareholders. The price for each brick, or share, can range from a few cents to thousands of dollars based on how well the company is doing. The more each brick or share is worth, the more valuable the building or company is worth. Why do stock prices go up and down? A company can have a high or low stock price for many reasons. A high stock price usually means the company's products are selling well, it is making lots of money, and good leaders are in place. Most people want to own shares of stock in a company that is doing very well and is expected to grow bigger, so the price goes up. A falling stock price can mean many things, such as something has changed about the company's product, a new competitor has a better product, or the leaders are doing a poor job. Most people do not want to own shares of stock in a company that's doing poorly, so the price drops. The more shares someone holds in one company, the more ownership he or she possesses. For example, while many people own shares of Google, Larry and Sergey have made sure that they own enough shares to maintain control of the company. Why do companies go public? The main reason companies decide to go public is to raise money. They can use this money to expand into new areas, develop new products, acquire new companies, hire more people, or pay off debt. That might sound like a good deal, but there are challenges too. When a company goes public, there are lots, sometimes tens of millions of people who now own a little bit of the company. In addition, a public company must follow the rules and regulations set by a department of the U.S. government called the Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC. The job of the SEC is to protect investors from any sort of dishonest business. The SEC makes and enforces strict rules and regulations that all public companies must follow. Not every company believes going public is worth the effort of having to follow these rules and regulations or sharing its company information with the public. 2 ways to grow. As a public company, Larry, Sergey, and Eric wanted to expand Google beyond searches. There are 2 main ways a company can grow or expand beyond its core business. One is to develop new products and services through innovation. The second way is to acquire or buy other companies. Acquisitions can be a good strategy when a company believes it's easier to acquire another company with certain products and technologies rather than to develop them itself. Over the next decade, Google launched a plethora of new products and services through innovation and acquisition. In fact, between 2001 and 2017, Google spent over $30 billion acquiring more than 200 companies that specialized in areas such as advertising, navigation, drones, artificial intelligence, and robotics. Here's some of Google's most popular products. Gmail is from 2004. A fast, searchable email service with more storage and less spam. Google Earth from 2005, a program that allows users to see the world as never before with satellite images from space. Users can get an in-depth look at different terrains and buildings in 3D and also see the bottom of the ocean, the moon, and Mars. Google Maps from 2005, a service that allows users to view maps, satellite images, and directions with real-time traffic. Android, 2005, a mobile operating system that makes it possible for applications to work on smartphones. Android is an open source technology, one that is free and available to everyone. YouTube, 2006, a video sharing website where users can upload or view videos for free. Google Calendar, 2006, a calendar that helps keep track of events, appointments, and birthdays, and can be shared with others, including family and friends. Google Docs, 2007, an online word processor that gives users the ability to open, edit, and create documents, and then share them between students and teachers at school or colleagues in business. Google Chrome, 2008, a web browser built for speed, simplicity, and security. Google Play, 2012, Google's App Store for the Android operating system, which allows users to purchase music, movies, and books, and store them in the cloud. Google Drive, 2012, a cloud storage service that gives users a way to create, share, and keep all their documents and files in one place. Google Photos, 2015, a free photo storage service that automatically organizes users' pictures. The gift of failure. Google has always had a positive attitude toward failure. Eric Schmidt explained, "We try things. Remember, we celebrate our failures. This is a company where it's absolutely okay to try something that's very hard, have it not be successful, and take the learning from that," Sergey agreed, once stating, "The only way you are going to have success is to have lots of failures first." And there were plenty of failures at Google. Take, for example, Google Wave. Google Wave was a hyped up, but complicated product that no one seemed to understand. Google Wave launched in 2009 and combined email, text, images, web links, and videos into a communications change that could involve multiple users. However, Google Wave was very confusing and never took off. Within a few months, it was clear that Google Wave was a flop, and the product was canceled the following year. However, engineers at Google were not punished for launching a failed product. In fact, many were asked to work on other important projects because Googlers value the risk associated with launching ambitious products. Google Glass was another famous Google failure. Google Glass was a pair of eyeglasses that cost $1,500 and acted much like a cell phone. The glasses included a camera, a tiny microphone, a speaker by the right ear, and a small screen by the right eye that projected answers to simple commands like, "Look up current events," or "What is the weather?" or "Give me directions to the soccer field." Sergey spent a lot of time and energy working on Google Glass. However, it soon became clear that users didn't want to pay the expensive price or wear the nerdy-looking glasses when they could easily get more from their cell phones. To Sergey's dismay, Google Glass was discontinued just 2 years after launching. Here's a fun fact. In 2006, Google had become so successful and popular that the term Google was added to the Merriam-Webster and Oxford English dictionaries. To Google is defined as searching for something or someone on the internet using the search engine Google. Chapter 10, Googolplex. With so many innovations and acquisitions taking place, Larry and Sergey moved their headquarters to a much larger permanent location in Mountain View, California, appropriately named Googolplex. With over 7 million square feet of office space, it's like owning all the office space in the Empire State Building in New York City and the Willis Tower, formerly the Sears Tower, in Chicago put together. Larry and Sergey have designed Googolplex to be a place that harnesses creativity, teamwork, and intellectual growth, and creates opportunities for inspiration. Googolplex is filled with video games, pianos, pools, bowling alleys, climbing walls, a soccer field, pool tables, ping pong tables, foosball, air hockey, beach volleyball courts, and a giant ball pit. Inside, fun and inspirational art hangs on the walls, including paintings by employees. Outside, a large Lego man, a life-size model spaceship, oversized shark fins, plastic pink flamingos, and a life-size replica of a dinosaur skeleton named Stan grace the property. Sometimes the plastic pink flamingos end up in Stan's mouth or on his head. Googly for dogs. Yashka, a large furry Leonberger, was the first dog to come to work at Google back in 1999. His job was to lie by the front door and greet the UPS and FedEx delivery people when they arrived with packages. Today, many dogs come to work at Googolplex. Brain food. Larry and Sergi treat their employees very well and have always believed in feeding their employees for free. They recognized early on that keeping Googlers happy at the office and among their fellow colleagues essentially paid for itself. In the beginning, Larry and Sergi provided Googlers with Swedish fish candy and boxes of cereal that were labeled Larryos, Cheerios, and Raisin Bran. Today, dozens of cafes and restaurants throughout Googolplex feed Googlers and their families with healthy gourmet meals. There's even a cafe named after Yashka, the first Google dog. Google goes green. Googolplex is environmentally conscious too. Built to strict specifications, Google does all it can to create a healthy workspace for its people and the planet. 100% of the facility's energy comes from renewable sources such as solar, wind, or water power. Googolplex has solar panels on its rooftop and uses wind harness power from wind farms. Kitchens, restaurants, and bathrooms are cleaned with non-toxic products. Even getting to and around Googolplex is good for the environment. Shuttles transport thousands of employees to work. Once there, Googlers can hop on one of thousands of multicolored bikes called G-bikes that look similar to the Google logo, complete with bright yellow and red frame, blue handlebars, and green tires. If a bike needs repair, the rider simply places the bike seat into the basket, and the G-Bike's repair team swings by, picks up the broken bike, and repairs it back at the G-Bike's repair shop.